would encourage other people with as far as being an artist and creating and stuff like that?
God's timing. As far as encouragement to other artists, whether you sing gospel, whether you sing R&B, whether you are a dancer, whether you make pottery, whatever you do, God's timing is so important. It's imperative because we get ahead of ourselves and we put ourselves in the midst of it. And as long as self is what's the driving force, it's never gonna win. It's never gonna win. God said that the weapons would form. He didn't say that they would prosper. When self is in it, the weapons is gonna go off. Crazy. Weapons of mass destruction all over the place. But that's what I would give anybody. If this is what you want to do, especially in the music business, hold fast to God. God's timing. Understand that you're gonna want to rush the process. You're gonna want it to happen tomorrow. Everybody wanna be Beyonce. Everybody wanna be Cardi B. Everybody wanna be the Migos and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, their process didn't happen overnight as much as we would like to believe that it did. It looked that way. But if you ask them people, yo, how long you been doing this? Man, I've been doing this for a really long time. And people are just now starting to pay attention. I deliver mail Monday through Saturday. That's my Clark Kent. Come on. For the United States Postal Service. But yeah, when I punch out, I get to be Superman. So I just get to be Superman all day. And that works.
I think we're good. You get it good?
You good?
Yep.
Cool.
What's up?
How did you and King meet?
Oh, how did me and King meet? If you know King, you know why I'm laughing. Me and King met, I was singing on the praise team at this church in Arlington, and he came and he was doing sound there, and we were in the middle of transitioning different musicians, and you know what I'm saying, we had one drummer at the time, and the music director, he just was really trying to get everything under control, and the sound was what we really needed. So I'm like, okay, this guy seems cool. I was asking about him with a couple of my homegirls that I was singing with, and it was like, yeah, he a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, Google him, like see who he is. So of course I did, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I just needed some studio time because I was working on some music with this guy out of New York, H.E.R. Middleton, and I was doing a song for him for some project that we were doing, and I just needed somewhere to record. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, they told me you had a studio. I'm just as green as a blade of grass at this point. I'm like, hey, they told me you had a studio. I wanted to work with you. And he like, yeah, I ain't shouting, you know what I'm saying? Like these the prices, you know what I'm saying? That's his little bop. So I go and he listens to my voice and he sees my process as a writer, and he literally looked me in my face. He was like, you will never pay for studio time for me another day. As long as I have a studio, you will never pay for it because I want to work with you. I believe in you. So, we got through the whole transition of musicians and stuff at the church, and, getting the sound together. And he and I just always kind of had that bond. And shoot, that was, I want to say 2014 that happened. And I've been running up behind him ever since then. I said, you got the wrong person, your phone number, but that's my dog, man. We family for real. Oh man, I get to be myself. I don't have no restrictions. I don't have nothing that's inhibiting me from actually being able to dig for real. He's a very emotional guy, as much of a brick wall, as much of a stoic face as he gives everybody else. He is a lover. He is an artist. He is just a genius. He's a mastermind with that music, and he is going to give a song exactly what it needs. And I haven't seen many people do it the way he's done it, and I'm being real about it. You know what I'm saying? My favorite part about working with King is the freedom. I get to be Shar'ne. I get to explore. I get to dig in different areas of myself as an artist, as a writer, as a singer. Come on, girl, you can do this. I know you can do it, Shar'ne. It's that drive, it's that grind, being up close to it in that way. is nothing like it. That's what it is.
So during your creative process with King, like what drives you? Like what drives your motive? What motivates you?
When he hit that space bar and it dropped, like I'm telling you, when I tell you the guy is a genius, he's a genius. He make it easy. He make it so easy. That's why he's so sought out. You know what I'm saying? You have different adversities that you experience in your career and in your life, of course, but he takes them and I'm gonna smack you in the head with it. Like, it's that energy. You have to match that. That's the force. That's the driving force. This is what I'm giving you. This is what we doing. And we gonna do it better than anybody ever did it. He don't do nothing average. Nothing that he has ever put his hands on has been average. That's the gift. That's the blessing in being connected to somebody who will be damned if they ever have anything attached to their name that's average. Can't be average. That's the driving force. Oh man, I learned how to be an artist. When I tell you I was green, working with King, the thing that I learned first and foremost was when you walk into a room, spot your mark. And if you can't spot it, you the mark in the room. You go in the room for business. All the other stuff, you gotta know how to handle business. I learned the business from being next to that man. I'm a student of the way that he wins, the way that he fails, the way, the losses, all of that, all of the things. I'm a student of that. And
so talk about process. So I know that, I've kind of heard a little bit about your process. So I know that King mentioned to ask you about JoJo. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your process and kind of what happened there and how that's kind of changed who you are as an artist.
Okay. JoJo is my youngest son. My baby would be going on 3 years old this year in June. So a little over 2 years ago, he was born, beautiful, healthy, looking just like his mama. And 3 months later, he was gone. I got to hug. And I want to talk about it because not just for my own healing, but it's so many women. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many women that hold on to the loss of a child and they don't see the other side of it. Thank you, Jesus. They don't see the other side of it. They don't see that. They don't see the victory in that testimony. They don't see that brokenness. Cause broken, man, what? That's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I could hate you and I would not. The pain, you know what I'm saying? That you get up, and I thank God for the children that I have still here in the world with me. I have 2 beautiful children here with me. And if it had not been for the Lord and them kids, because God knew what I needed. He knew the end in my beginning. He knew what it was going to look like for me along the road, and he gave me what I needed, because God is a God of provision. But that whole situation, me losing my son, and after that, me going through a divorce, me separating from my husband, me being on my own for real for the first time in my life, you know what I'm saying? But not only am I on my own for the first time in my life, I have kids. I got what other people would consider as baggage, you know what I'm saying? You less appeasing, you know what I'm saying? When you come with all of these things and all of these pieces. But God took them pieces and he did what only he could do with them. I can't even tell you what that consists of, because it's still happening. You know what I mean? It's still happening. The experience that I had with the loss of my son, how it impacted me as an artist, it made me realize that I didn't have no time to waste for myself. It was either piss or get off the pot, as my dad would say. You know, it was, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, you lost. Yeah, you took a L. You did a devastating blow. What's the recovery? Because sometimes the situations that we get ourselves in, that's more than likely our fault. But the way that you recover from it is your fault or somebody else's fault. But the way that you recover from it, your healing, is your responsibility. How you gonna heal from this? You gonna stay in it, you gonna sit in it, or you gonna move from it? And I just started writing. I hadn't sung, after my son passed, I didn't sing, write, do nothing that looked like music for like a year and a half. I was done. I felt done. And God said no. And I got up and me and King are usually in a transitional period at the same time of our lives for whatever reason. So I got up and I'm like, come on. He like, you sure you can do it? I'm like, yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, not really, but we finna try. And that's where we started. And God said, all you gotta do is start. And I got the rest of it.
So this is your first kind of like music video release since all of that time?
Yes, it is. This is my first anything really outside of the EP that I released last year. This is my first show.
So
because I'm putting on
what
the
kind
show.
of emotions are you feeling?
I am excited, honey. The emotions that I'm feeling regarding this experience that we have put together is just excitement. I'm so excited to see how everything's gonna turn out. I'm so excited to see the reaction that we're gonna get from the people. I'm so excited to see how everything just comes together and the thing, even the steps after this project here, the next thing and the next thing. My focus and my intention as far as this is concerned with what we're doing is to not get complacent. I want to keep going. So my feelings about what we're doing right now is ready, set, go.
So for the people that are going to be watching this interview, watching the music, what is like, if you could tell them something, what would that be?
If I could tell the people anything that are watching this and listening to this music and getting this experience, let your girl know if she was given what needed to be gave, and buckle up, baby, because it's going to be some.